Hi beautiful twin flames, welcome to YILDIZ Readings 5D. For those of you that don't know, I'm a psychic medium. I'm a twin flame who has been on the journey over 25 years. I'm also in union and I guide the collective to move in and through your ascension and towards union. So if you are new, a very warm welcome and welcome back to those of you who have followed me. All my social links are directly below. We are live on Fridays and we do have a private hub for the Twin Flame Collective. So if you do want to jump in the members hub, the link is directly below and on the main page. And without further ado, let's get into your Twin Flame update, which is the reason you're here, and I'll see you on the other side. What we got here? Let's have a look at the water signs for those of you that are twin flames. Okay, now I feel there appears to be a situation that isn't quite going according to plan, but I feel this is with the third party energy more so. And we're going to dig in and I will relate the reading to those of you in communication, those of you not. What I'm getting at the moment is there is a person and a situation playing out in this individual's life at the moment where they do actually, they're multitasking quite a bit and it's quite a one-sided transaction. There also could be a subject relating to, you know, having even the time to, you know, scratch their neck, so to speak. It feels with the badger in reverse, dig in and see things through. We have it in reverse. This is relating to a feminine energy, but it also could be to do with being able to nurture the person's self, being able to do everything, being able to be everything. And I do feel for the water signs, this has maybe emotionally been an extremely busy time. It also has been a time where the individuals haven't been able to nurture themselves and really maybe had been doing everything. I do feel maybe there was a point where they were trying to resolve conflict mentally. Now, the conflict not necessarily is that it's already happened. It kind of feels this is psychoanalysis of a previous event. I'll just be perfectly clear. While this individual is quite busy, I feel they're going through the theory of logic, the theory of why did that happen. If they were second guessing the reasons why it was unsafe to have a connection, the reasons why they actually chose particular connections, I feel they're looking back and seeing the writing on the wall. Now, very uniquely, especially because I do have a lot of clientele of different zodiac signs, and because both myself and my twin have this in our zodiac signs, the one thing I am seeing is sometimes PTSD can actually come in handy. And I'm going to tell you why. It's because when we second guess the choices we make, we can have a synchronistic event happen to actually take us back to that time frame, spiritually, mentally, emotionally. And what I'm seeing from these individuals at the moment is something to that degree has occurred. I do feel maybe they were second guessing some choices that they'd made and the steps that they were taking. And again, due to the fact that they were tired and fatigued, I feel like a synchronistic event has occurred to help them see where potentially their viewpoint of a situation has actually evolved and changed. This might again have been where they were being critical to themselves that they didn't do enough. And if they were in a connection and it was with family, be it it's with family, be it it's work-related dynamic or a third-party karmic, I feel they're looking at it very differently now. I feel that they're looking at it saying, you know, maybe it was due to circumstances, maybe it was due to finances, maybe it was a one-sided transaction, but whatever this is, it's given them the key. It's given them the key to look at the situation more rationally, more critically, and I think we all can agree we have done that over the last 3 months. It may be due to the fact that spiritually at the moment, at a collective level, where we had the Virgo transits, we've cast a critical eye on circumstances and there has been a great deal of healing. I do feel this has been a burden to carry and, you know, looking back and being really practical about who they are, what they were able to do, potentially needing to be everything, but maybe not having the ability to do such. It did become a burden. I feel by them looking at this, if they were feeling guilt to be offering a proposal to Divine Feminine, I feel that they also wanted to have more success with this moving forward. I feel for some of you, they have been working extremely hard, maybe not being able to do as much as they would like to, maybe in the yin and yang realm. But where this is coming in and whatever they're working on, their self-esteem, their logic, their healing, I feel they know that with this connection with Divine Feminine, it will actually give them riches. Now, when I say riches, it doesn't have to be financial abundance, and I'm not feeling that at all. Not that, yes, this can't be a successful energy, because I don't feel they look at you as the gold digger energy. I don't feel they look at you as that's what you would be needing. I feel it's more in their self-esteem and in it being a yin and yang connection that the give and take is more conducive in this connection. I do feel that they really were coming to terms with circumstances of the past. And by doing such, they're more open to be able to actually offer you something. I do feel they're concerned about maybe money and how this is going to work and how to bridge the gap. How they're looking at you at the moment is they do feel you're quite worn out. They also know that, yes, subjects relating to the past and the unfair circumstances, they're wanting to leave this in the past, and this is directly what you're requiring in order for this to be successful. I feel for some of you on both sides of the fence, old emotions might have resurfaced. And you may feel, yeah, I literally do feel, and this could be a synchronistic message really coming through for the Twin Flame Collective, is that moving into the first 2 weeks of September, you know, we're really moving through vaguely looking at our connections, you know, looking at our connections, looking at the give and take, maybe having to do a bit of shadow work and feeling as though, you know, is this going to be a healthy connection? What is the viability of it? Is it going to be successful? I think as we move away from the Virgo transits, we can be a bit more lighter, but we definitely can be looking at the give and take. I do feel some of you, if there has been a change in behavior, if you're in communication, I kind of feel as though it's caused concern for you. It might be, look, you know, has anything moved? You might be looking at your life of where you stand. Regardless, I feel on Divine Feminine side in this situational ship that change is required, but you're being cautious, you're being logical. Like I said, PTSD at the moment, I don't know why it's such a thing, but it's coming up a little bit like it might have been a trigger point on either side, and it's made both individuals to be cautious. I do feel the water sign energies have been retreating, but I do feel they're coming out of the darkness of this shadow work, okay? Now, whatever this is, you know, one individual in this circumstance is feeling that they were quite manipulated. It also can be that they're thinking that maybe the karmic scenario ship has caused a lot of energy between the partnership. I do feel overall, this toll it's taken on the connection, both parties here are really healing. I feel on the Divine Masculine side, the way they're looking at it is, yes, the past did cause a great deal of discord. This isn't something they're wanting to go back to in a pattern sense. But I feel it was finding that inner forgiveness, a little bit like, you know, adhering to a contract, regardless of what that contract is. You know, maybe to find forgiveness, it's almost sometimes we try a little bit too hard when it really has, any situation has reached its close. I kind of feel this Divine Masculine is coming to terms with the past, that we can't turn time back, but we can make different choices in moving forward. I feel in the past it did cause a lot. It did cause a lot of the ways in which they related to you because of other people. And what do I mean by that? I'm being shown that due to the maybe discord that they had in their life, their demeanor was coming through quite choppy. Due to experiences they had been quite wary to be able to offer anything. And I do feel they had commitment-related issues. it doesn't mean they are commitment phobes. It is appearing in this particular read where they're having a revelation that it was due to people that weren't directly working with them. They know that because of their expectations on themselves, they stayed longer than they should have. They tried longer than they should have. Yeah, they're saying, like, no matter what, they're trying to tell you this commitment energy was not to do with you. This breakdown, shake up, change, emotions that have been coming through hasn't been to do with you. It still comes across as personal. Let's just be perfectly honest, especially when you're trying and, you know, trying to be the most ascended version of yourself. There might have been a legal binding contract, and again, it was almost, you know, through their value systems, and also it was going to directly affect their finances and other people. I'm being shown that this is why it took so long for them to let go of this situation. Okay. I feel now that they really have reached an acceptance of an ending. They really have accepted that even, you know, sometimes there's stories that we tell ourselves. It's like, maybe I can make something better. Maybe I can go on a little bit longer. I feel they've realised that the connection between you and them is more than friends. Even if they did continue to put you in that compartmentalisation. That really, they were placing themselves piggy in the middle of an old life and a new life. And I feel the guilt and the shame did come through, but also the peace is coming from the fact that they can't be everything to everyone. That there's no perfectness, that maybe if I turned left and not right, I could have avoided disaster. We all do such. We all say such to ourselves. This individual here, I feel is more ready to communicate. I feel is more ready to offer divine feminine more. It's really unique. A lot of these messages that are yet to come have really come through in my twin flame reads, private reads. I do feel because they needed to go through this, it was putting a pause on the connection. I also feel that after they've moved through this vibration, it has been also a theme, and I'm going to pull a clarifier with the chakra cards because I'm really feeling they're going from the 12th house to Mercury. What do I mean by that? Thoughts, feelings, the house of imprisonment, 12th house. We currently have Neptune retrograde in Pisces. We also have Jupiter in Pisces, which is kind of splitting them. In one way, they're wanting to run like a bat out of hell for the hills forward for the future. But because we have the South Node in Sagittarius, we're being asked to reflect, to change things, to implement new ways. And Neptune is showing us the distortion, that of our old, outdated ways. This individual is doing the clearing, but realizing where they had power, where they had healthy boundaries, it would have been different. Regardless of such, the key theme that has been coming through at a collective level has been the tedious conversation of what went down in the past. The aura at the moment that is coming through with Divine Feminine is they are fully aware that this conversation is going to eventuate. Needing to actually make sense of it themselves was necessary, because how do they give the answers if they haven't discovered them themselves? And they were quite perplexed by why they had made various decisions. So moving into the emotional intelligence, they were like, well, if I can't answer these, you know, questions myself, how am I supposed to explain this to my Divine Feminine? So now that they've sat with this and they've digested it, I feel they're more operating from emotional intelligence. They're like, okay, well, I didn't know I'd done that. And it's not, I didn't know I messed you up. I'm not talking about that. Trying to find the logic between self-sabotage, between maybe dealing with a toxic situation 20 years longer than you should, whatever that be for these individuals. Yes, there is guilt relating to the past. They don't recognize this within themselves as a human being. Are they into the crown chakra? Yes, and they have been thinking an awful lot about you, Divine Feminine. So if you guys have been having psychic attacks, it is because of both Neptune and Pisces and Jupiter and Pisces. They are really in their crown chakra at the moment. It's very confusing to them because on top of the clearing that they're doing and their spiritual connection that they're directly looking at with you, for some, there may be the third party energy that they're having to make a major decision on. Now, if there are direct children involved, and it is quite a one-sided transaction, they're concerned about the well-being of these individuals. But that's only for some. It can be that this person that they had an energy with had inner child wounds relating to father or mother, but inner child wounds, codependency. So the concern and the guilt was, wow, I can't hold you up, and hey, you know, is everything going to be okay? I don't feel that in that realm now. And for some, this is a very old energy. It's something that has already gone down, and they are directly single. Yeah. There's a huge element of separateness here. For some, it was a separation of assets. For some, it's a home. But again, it's really understanding that home is where the heart is. You know, we can have these new beginnings. Sometimes it can get really messy. But I feel intuitively they're really tuning into you and feeling your energy quite a bit. I do feel there's psychic... There's a very large psychic connection at the moment. I do feel for some of you, they're actually, they do have a surprise for you. And I feel this communication is coming through quite quickly. But they're hiding that of what they're bringing towards you and how it's going to come about. And I feel even the thought of, how do I balance all of this? How can I move forward? How can the finances be there so I can be there for my Divine Feminine? They're being very, very old school and strict. Yeah, this will come in very quickly, and I do think it'll be through Mercury retrograde. We will get into the extension. I'll show you the cards before I love you and leave you. If you do want to join us, you can. Whatever this is, it's almost like it's coming to a head. So I'm going to clarify on the karmic energy because I feel this is a real bugbear at the minute. But I want to know what this is all about, because it jumps from there and it goes into a proposal. You know, this is also where the value is there, but also where it's going to be a change for the better. We want to know what this is. Is there an avoidance? Is there something that this individual is dealing with that they have missed a detail? Be cautious, come through and have a look, and I'll see you on the other side. Well, I hope you enjoyed the content, and if you do want the link, it is directly below. All my social contacts are also below, as well as towards the end of this video, there is an image above the screen which shows you how to book bookings. Separately, we're live on Fridays on the main page and 3 times a month at $11 in the membership hub, which is a private session. Now, throughout the week, we do have more content coming, so remember to click the bell for the notifications. And as I mentioned above, for personal bookings, we have webinars. We have the Age of Aquarius magazine coming, as well as your private sessions. Love and light. See you during the week.